Well, hey YouTube, it's Petey Two Finger, and today we're going to learn about basic differences between dog people, and cat people. Number one, there are more dog people than cat people. About 6% more U.S. households own dogs than cats. Dog people are far more sociable and outgoing than cat people. Dog lovers are friendlier and more extroverted than cat lovers, who prefer to be alone. Dog lovers are more confident and dominant than cat people. Cat people are more intelligent than dog people, and they will never let you forget this, nor the fact that they think cats are far more intelligent than dogs. Cat people are more neurotic than dog people. Cat lovers tend to be more prone to anxiety and neurotic disorders than dog people. This may be because their pets are far less likely to constantly reassure them. Cat people are more likely to live alone in apartments than dog people. One study shows that cat owners are a third more likely to live alone than dog owners and twice as likely to live in an apartment rather than a home. The most likely individuals to own cats are single women. Dog people are more likely to live in rural areas than cat people. The east and west coasts are more likely to favor cat owners, while dogs rule America south. Overall, dog people are 30% more to live in the country, while cat people 29% more likely to live in the city. Dog people tend to be more conservative than cat people. Owning a dog correlates strongly with having traditional values. Dog owners are generally more rule abiding than cat owners. Dog owners tend to skew Republican, while cat owners lean Democrat. Dog people are more obedient, just like dogs. Cat owners tend to be nonconformists, while dog owners generally follow the tide and obey all rules. Cat people are more open-minded than dog people. Cat lovers generally score higher on such things as open-mindedness, imaginativeness, creativity, adventurousness, and holding unconventional beliefs. Dog owners, much like dogs, will pretty much believe anything you tell them. Cat people are more sensitive than dog people. Sensitivity. Cat owners are sensitive. Oftentimes, people see sensitivity as a bad thing. Cat people are found to be more sensitive in this study, while dog owners showed fewer signs of sensitivity in provided tests. Dog people are more masculine than cat people. It is said many times that all dogs look like males and all cats look like females. Although there are exceptions, dog owners, both male and female, tend to view themselves as more masculine than cat owners do. Dog people tend to tolerate cats. Cat people hate dogs. Studies have shown that people who love both dogs and cats, the so-called bipedals, have personalities almost identical to those of dog owners. So there is some good. In general, dog owners are more willing to tolerate the idea of cat owning than cat owners are of owning dogs. Dog people and cat people have a favorite Beatle. Dog lovers prefer Paul McCartney. Cat people prefer George Harrison. Dog people and cat people have a different sense of humor. Cat people enjoy sophisticated, ironic humor that's built on clever wordplay. Dog people laugh at fart jokes and videos of people accidentally hurting themselves. Cat people are more independent. As already noted, dog owners tend to be more sociable and obedient. The flip side of this is cat owners, much like cats, have mind of their own. Cat people are more likely to be atheists. Some research suggests that there's more atheist cat people than there are dog atheists. Dog people are seeking companionship. Cat people are seeking affection. So this person who wrote this, Lorenzo Jensen III, I looked for an image of this person, and I guess I shouldn't. It wouldn't be right for me to speculate. He does have the information for this article is pulled from the following sources. Um, I'm not buying any of this, and the fact that here's an image of a dog, here's an image of a dog, no image of a cat. This family and dogs. This article is skewed. This is written. This is not a And I've got to say, as society moves on and more political correctness, are we ever going to see the I hate cats thing go away? I know you won't hear a millennial or an internet person announcing that or bragging about it generally. I'm sure you do. I'm sure those people are out there. But as we get closer toward the boomer generation, I've heard that if not 100 times in my life, I couldn't tell you how many I hate cats. And I know people who proudly announce that. And I have never heard a single person say, I hate dogs. My personal stance, we grew up having dogs in our family. We had a couple cats too. We didn't have good luck with the dogs. We had a lot of problems with them. We had to go to court. We were sued over one of our dogs. We had another one of our dogs shot to death. Because it liked to run away. It liked to run around the neighborhood. And we weren't the most responsible dog owners. And I'll tell you, in order to really do a good job as a dog owner with some dogs are lesser. You don't have to involve yourself, but the issues of the dog running away, the dog becoming a nuisance through barking, or just a nuisance in your home. Generally, you need to provide space, meaning if you have a small area and you get a giant secondhand damaged goods dog, like meaning you go to the shelter and buy the first dog that makes puppy eyes at you, that happens to be a huge dog, and you have a tiny area, then when you bring it home, you find that it's constantly howling and barking and wanting to go run around, and you don't have a yard. So, my thing, I love both animals, I really do, and both animals love me, especially dogs. I've got a thing where I can just put my head down a little bit, put my hand out, and give them a look, and I'll win them over. So I'm kind of like a dog whisperer type person. I can win them over very quickly, and they'll trust me. Although I've been bit. I've been bit by it's usually a black lab or some type of a giant-headed dog that will attack me. Those dogs, the ones that kill babies, that's a different discussion. My thing, if you want to know where do I stand? I love them both. I really do. If I was going to pick one, I would obviously pick a cat because so many reasons. But the number one being I couldn't provide a good enough home for a dog. Like if we had a house, let's say we had a farmhouse, I'd probably have 3 dogs. And I'd probably have just as many, if not more, cats. A couple in the barn, a couple in the house. But that's generally not the thing. I've had people say, "Oh, Leaf hates dogs," because that's what they assume. Because I'll make a sour face, I won't ignore it if a dog is completely taking control of the social situation when you're at someone's home. If the dog is coming up and putting its paws on about to break my collarbone, and its tongue is drooling drool all over my pants, I'm gonna react to that as calmly as I can. If the dog is barking at the top of its lungs, I'm not gonna ignore it. And I've seen people do stuff like, well, every time I leave, the dog goes nuts and tears up the house, so they'll buy a giant iron cage for it that costs $1,000. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. As far as I'm concerned, I don't like bad owners. It's not that I don't like the dog. What the dog is doing is a reflection of poor ownership. The dog has not been trained, or the dog never should have been in that environment in the first place. So there's a lot of things I could say about, we live in an apartment area, and people every once in a while will buy a dog. We had a neighbor that would put the dog out on the second floor patio. So it's a tiny little patio, and they would let the dog out to do its business and then not let it back in. So it would start barking because it was cold, because this is February, and sometimes we would hear an hour and a half of that barking. So yes, I do not like irresponsible dog owners is what I do not like. I would never say I hate a dog. And for those people, hopefully we can get to a point where that's not a thing anymore, where cats are accepted. Because the truth of it is, even if you look at this article, how there still is a slant. This guy is a dog owner and a dog lover, and he's got a lot of nasty little jabs in this article that he's thrown in to try to make people who own a cat, which I've got to say, in most cases, like he says, oh, people in an apartment own cats. Yeah, that's because you can, because it's not going to emotionally disturb or crush the soul of the cat if it's in an apartment. If you take a dog into an apartment, it's going to cause problems. The dog's going to get messed up in the head, and it's going to bark, and it's going to tear the apartment up because that dog needs a huge yard. So this is all like really basic no-brainer stuff. People should never ever say they hate an animal. That's really, really messed up, and they're missing the point. Is there really aren't bad dogs and cats. And there are, in some cases, there are cases, those big-headed, the pit bulls that eat the babies, those things should never, ever be around in that situation. They should be bred to fight or bred to be guard dogs, and that's it. Chained up with a huge steel chain, and still given that affection that they need. You know what I mean? You shouldn't buy an animal out of fear, which a lot of people do that, and those dogs are miserable. You know, the dogs seem to be more sensitive to their environment. You know, cats are much more independent. So this is all real basic, no-brainer stuff. This article was absolutely ridiculous, and it kind of blows back poorly on a certain type of person to believe all this insane stuff, when the reality of it is there's much more responsibility involved with being a dog owner, and all of the problems that we see that are caused by dog ownership really don't see much caused by a cat ownership. You know what I mean? You don't read any stories about cats killing infants. Or, in our case, we had a dog that the neighbor used to harass, and he took us to court over it because he claimed the dog was barking. You don't see people taking cat owners to court. So, if you're going to take in an animal, consider the responsibility and look at it realistically, and let's stop hating on cats. Can we do that? Let's realize what the real elephant in the room is here when it comes to pets, you know? And don't get me wrong, I have nothing against the animals. I actually have a thing with dogs where they are dogs love me is an easy way to put it. Okay? And I love dogs, but I do not tolerate a dog who has been neglected and who has not been trained properly. And that's not the dog's fault, it's the owner's fault. Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you learned something from this Lorenzo Jensen III. I'm wondering if he fights his pit bulls. All right, you guys, take care of yourself. Hug your pets, as I say in every episode, and peace.